The number one source of friction in your engine is not what you think. Piston rings rubbing against the cylinder walls generate more friction than any other part of the engine. More friction and temperature means more wear and less horsepower. Fortunately, the team at Total Seal knows how to reduce friction and wear through innovative piston ring design. If it takes a piston, Total Seal can build a better ring.
For more than a decade, FTI has strived to become the leader in the aftermarket performance transmission and converter industry. We've joined forces with McLeod driveline components under the leadership of Top Fuel Funny Car pilot Paul Lee, and now have a larger distribution network, more resources, and more power. Come see us in the pits and ask how you can join the FTI family. It's not cheating, it is the competitive edge.
Looking to replace your OEM diesel particulate filter or diesel oxidation catalyst? Look no further than DPF XFit, a complete line of aftermarket diesel particulate filters and diesel oxidation catalysts designed as an exact fit OEM replacement with all makes coverage for light, medium, and heavy-duty trucks. With thousands of units in stock, we ship the same or next day, and be sure to check out our comprehensive reverse OEM lookup tool. Always new, never remanufactured. For more information, be sure to visit dpfxfit.com. That's dpfxfit.com.
This is WFO Radio.
Hey everybody, WFO Radio on location, Total Seal Piston Rings, Joe Castello with you following the Arizona Nationals. Yeah, I stayed out between Arizona and Pomona. Figured I'd come on over here to Total Seal and see what's what. Check things out. Got a nice little tour from at Hartford. We're going to go hang out with Hartford at some point. It's going to be great. But what a race, right? What a race. So we're here at the Total Seal home base, the factory, the shop up here in the studio, and going to do a little show for you today. So please share the show. Of course, we would love to get the word out there. We've got a lot of information from our drivers. You're going to hear and see some on-location interviews with Greg Anderson, media center stuff with Shawn Langdon, Paul Lee. What an emotional win. All of these great things happened. Paul Lee, like, wow, just so impressive what they were able to do. Johnny Lindbergh, John Medlin, 18 years to the day that we lost Eric Medlin. The emotion was thick all day long. Johnny was talking about it all day long. And it happened. Amazing, amazing stuff. So cool. But yeah, I'm on West Coast time out here in Arizona. It's a little different than it is getting ready. It's 10 in the morning out here, and it's 1 o'clock Eastern time back east. Hopefully you're all well. We want you to drop your comments in the comment section. We're definitely going to talk about everything that goes down. I'm super excited, but we are going to talk about the people who make it possible for me to go WFO, like the folks at Foggett. Steve Williams with a bunch of rounds got down to the final round in Super Comp. Got to talk about Foggett on the mic a lot, and it was great stuff. Foggit. It is a great spray for the inside of your racing engine after you've raced. It's not like going to make more power for you right now. It's going to protect your engine for the next time. And that was the big thing that I did with Project Pontiac. When I put it away, I was excited to fog it down and know that it was protected, which is very cool and very exciting. Also want to mention the folks at Bernie's Speed Shop. BURNYZZ.com. Bernie's. They're on all the social media. This place is amazing. They're over 100,000 square feet, Bernie's Speed Shop. And they're doing frame-off restorations, like the highest level of frame-off restoration. Bernie's Speed Shop, really good stuff. They're buying, they're selling, they're looking for inventory. Go to Bernie's.com to find out more. Josh Hart and the team have assembled something really amazing, really amazing. There's HusseyPerformance.net. David Allen just texted me. He's like, Joe, before the show, just want to let you know a couple of details. And look, they're not just copper head gaskets anymore. David Allen and the team, they're making quality oil pan gaskets, valve cover gaskets, all of that stuff. The shop number is now, it doesn't transfer to his cell phone. So we're not going to give his cell phone number anymore. But bottom line is you could go to HusseyPerformance.net or call the shop 412-716-4872. And they've got contingency programs, and Top Alcohol, Funny Car Dragster, Top Sportsman, Top Dragster in the NHRA, and Top Sportsman, Top Dragster in the PDRA. And so why would you not go out there and use the folks at HusseyPerformance.net. Appreciating David Allen and the team for being on board with WFO Radio. You heard a little bit about FTI Performance, but I just want to shout out to the team down there. The transmission and torque converter and Project Pontiac, first time out, everything worked flawlessly. We went to the quarterfinals, got down to 6 cars in Super Street, and they were right there supporting it all. Just amazing. And now Paul Lee is a winner in Nitro Funny Car. Shout out to those guys. Of course, Total Seal and Jesse Converters. And also want to talk a little bit about our friends at CWT Industries, balance machines for machine shops, Randy Neal and his folks over there at CWT Industries. If you have an antiquated or older balance machine in your shop, it's really time to upgrade. Go to CWTindustries.com, connect with Randy Neal, and I will put you together with him. If you want to skip the line, go to CWTindustries.com. Later on in the show, we'll tell you a little bit about Frank Hawley's drag racing school, and we'll definitely tell you about my main man, Marvin Rodak, and RodaksCoffeeandGrills.com, 817-924-6821. But let's see what everybody's got to say out there. Let's check in with the folks. Like Todd says, great job this weekend. How about, okay, so thank you, number one. And number two, the announced team tasked with a very great challenge, rising to the occasion, Jordan Vandergriff. Not only is he like a super nice kid and knowledgeable about Top Fuel, I thought about all the jokes I could make about the Bachelorette, and then I just decided to skip it, right? I just decided to not even go there with the guy. And I felt like it was great. Angel on the top end, greatness. And just has that gravitas that if Angel asks you something, you got to ask it, or you got to answer it. Joe Castello comes up and says something about, maybe it's got the hint of being critical. You might not want to answer it, but you might. Angel can pretty much ask you anything. And it's Angel. She's won 3 world championships. So, I'm not going to get there at some point. Monica says, happy Tuesday. Great job by everyone at NHRA. Great wild ride for Ron Capps, certainly. Wild ride for Ron Capps. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. Hello to the WFO family, people from Michigan weighing in, Montana karting weighing in. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Since I'm out, still out here in Arizona, hanging out with Total Seal, got my Total Seal shirt. Harper's like, yeah, wear the shirt, man. You're a Total Seal. I was like, let's do it. Got myself another nice stripe fit. Very good. After the race, there is a media center availability. These interviews are made available to people in the media who want them to post them. I don't know if the WFO universe has really ever seen them. I always take part in the media interviews. So let's go category by category. Let's check out the media center. You'll see what's going on in there, maybe expose some of the media personalities out there. Then later on in the show, we're going to go downstairs and get a tour of Total Seal. But I really need those numbers to go up, guys. So let's share the show. But first up, let's start off with the Top Fuel final round, all Coletta Motorsports. I had it in Drag Race Bracket Bonanza, but my final round went the other way. I took Doug over Shawn, figured Shawn won last year, Doug would win this year, and it came out Shawn Langdon again, Brian Houston. But let's watch the final round on NHRA on Fox. Top Fuel, as seen by the Air Force drone.
Oh, they're going to take it all the way to the house with the flames up and score one for Brian Houston. 372.4, 330 miles an hour. Langdon bought himself 26 thousandths of a second on the starting line and then drove it out the back door right out of Doug's life.
With the medal around his neck, Shawn Langdon just said, now I'm ready, as the Wally goes in his hand here at the Arizona Nationals. And you back up that appearance in Gainesville with another trip to the finals, now holding the Wally. Why was this Coletta machine the superior one today?
Brian and the team, man. I've been saying all along, Brian's turned this whole team into a bunch of superstars, all-stars, and all the credit to him. He brought Aaron Cave on board. But all the guys, man, all the guys have done such a fantastic job. No mistakes, giving me such a great race car. We knew going to the final, you're running AJ and Doug. So what are you going to do? You got to throw down. And Brian said, we got to get this thing go low 70. I said, I'll try to be in the 50s. And that's what we did. So we kind of called our shot a little bit, just proud of the guys. Everybody at Coletta Air Careers, Toyota, everybody. It's a win-win for Connie Coletta. Most importantly, put a smile on his face.
Amanda Busick, Amanda Busick, NHRA on Fox, getting the job done. And then Shawn came upstairs after the winner's circle and hung out in the media center. Let's check that out.
Motorsports Park is your top fuel winner of the 40th annual NHRA Arizona Nationals. Shawn Langdon, who wins for the second straight year here in Phoenix, going 3.724 at 330 miles an hour to defeat his teammate Doug Coletta in the final round. Also his third straight final here at Phoenix. Sweeps the weekend, wins the Mission Too Fast, Too Tasty Challenge on Saturday. Follows it up with his 20th career win today. Shawn, just an epic performance there in the final round. You guys dialed up something pretty special there. Talk us through that final round and just throwing up a 72 to beat Doug and kind of continue rolling here in Phoenix.
Well, this started about a year ago when we were able to get the win here, and since then we've been on a runner-up streak, which is not a horrible problem, but when you have high expectations with your team, it's a problem that you're not getting it done on race day. So obviously Brian, into last year, it's like, we lost a couple final rounds various ways, and then we go to Gainesville earlier this year, a couple weeks ago, against Antron and lose a good race. So it's like now we're at the point where we kind of have a little bit of that attitude into the final, and it's like we're not going to get outrun, and I have the attitude I'm not going to get treed, and we're going to hope the track will hold the tune-up because we're not going to get beat. So running AJ and Doug in the final, what they're capable of. Obviously, they're one pit away, and we share a lot of information. So with their run they made in the semis, and with our run we made only going 83, we knew, we were the ones that had to step up. So we kind of threw the kitchen sink at it, and Brian said, I'm going to try to get this thing go low 370s, and I said, okay, well, I'll try to be 50s on the tree, and it should be a good race. So it was, and it's kind of neat when everything plan comes together, right? So it's just happy for the guys.
Absolutely, Phil.
You talked about that you didn't get any wins out of it last year, but you were in the championship, right? So that thing happened in Las Vegas. What motivation did you draw from getting that close to start this year?
Yeah, I mean, even with what happened in Vegas, we still go to Pomona and we still have a chance for the championship, and losing second round to Antron.
Better if you won that round.
Yeah, I mean, obviously. So I try, it was a tough situation. So for me personally, try not to hang your head on that, because that's always in the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, and that stuff will just eat your life for the rest of your life. So at that point, it's just kind of, last year is last year, and take everything I can and learn from it, and then kind of push all the rest of that away. So obviously now, new year, and we have the motivation that we have a championship caliber team, championship caliber car, and so it's really neat to be a driver and feel like, don't be the weak link, don't screw this up, because I have such a great opportunity with a great team.
So down on the victory stage, is why you ran your drag this year on this year Firebird?
Yeah.
So, I mean, coming for back-to-back, so before back-to-back, you thought you were done. That one lose the track for every extension. How special, I mean, for somebody who's been here for so long in this track, how special is Firebird and this community of Arizona drag racers to the world of drag racing?
Well, like I said up there, we need to have 20 races here, because I feel like we'd have a chance at the championship. So they want to put on more races, let's do that. Yeah, and it's great to see for how hot it was today. I mean, those guys and girls and everybody in all the fans, they're baking in the stands. So it's great to see how many people were here, and it was packed. I mean, we had to go the other way coming to the staging lanes because we couldn't get through all of the pits and be able to get up to the lanes in time because there's that many people. So it's good to see. It's good for the sport, and it just gives us confidence that we can hopefully keep continuing to come back here, because especially me and my team, we love coming here.
Shawn, you're on a team with all these larger-than-life characters, Connie Coletta, of course, Alan Johnson, Icon, and Brian Houston kind of like stepping out of the shadow and bursting on the scene. He's amazing. He does great interviews. He seems like a real cool character. Can you talk a little bit about him and what kind of leader he is to be able to go up against his mentor and not blink and just go right at him and win races?
Honestly, that's why Brian and I get along so well. We from dating back to the Alan Abbey days when I drove over there, Brian was the crew chief on the car, under AJ, obviously. But we honestly just clicked from day one. I feel like how I view things and how I view my mentality on race day and how I view procedures and how I view dealing with the team and people, and just like we agree on so many things. And it's nice to have, because, there's days where I have good, bad days. He has good, bad days, and we kind of feed off of each other. And there's days where, I may be having a good day and he may be a little, behind, and he may be relying on me. But then there's days that I'm struggling and I'm relying on the car. And that's all we just kind of say every time. It's like, man, we just feed so good off each other. And he's a great leader. He's the type of guy that he could just come into a room and he can just say a couple quick things, and it's just like motivational, boom, and it just kind of creates that spark. And I kind of felt like for a few years we just didn't have that spark with the team. And Brian come in and we had a lot of things. It wasn't just one thing. For a couple years we struggled. It wasn't just one thing. It was just a lot of things. And Brian come in, and it just kind of seemed like everybody's attitudes really changed, and chemistry changed, and everybody just kind of joined together and one big team now. And it's just a good feeling to have. I mean, we have a great group. Honestly, it's really neat to be a part of it.
Later on this week, you're going to be playing golf with the women of the LPGA. You get to go there as a most recent race winner before Pomona. That's kind of cool, rolling into that opportunity. Are you ready for that tournament?
Nope. I golf twice a year now, so I have no confidence. So I guess we'll just swing away and see what happens. But it'll be fun.
Shawn, you're a sports fan of a lot of sports, but I know you understand streaks and how there's just kind of some magic there. Coming from the Gators to this and then going to the Winter Nationals where you've had a lot of success, do you feel a little like you've got a streak, you got some mojo going at the start of the season, points leader, all that stuff?
Yeah, and I mean, we had the same thing last year, which was great. And I feel like last year, there's a lot of firsts, because a lot of things that we did was trial and error, for Brian. I feel like he's got a year under his belt, and he's just got confidence. And Brian's extremely smart, and he's extremely talented. And Brian, with confidence, is dangerous. And I'm just thankful that I'm on his team. So, yeah, obviously going, having the points lead and doing good at the first couple races, kind of where we were at last year, and then we kind of got into a streak of runner-up. So I think now maybe we can kind of turn the corner and just kind of hopefully continue, get some wins. It's a tough class, and you really have to be picture perfect on race day, and then you also have to have luck. I mean, really, we were there for the taking in the semis against Brittany. And, probably would have lost the round if she had run. So you're spectacular when you need to be spectacular, and you're just good enough when you need to be just good enough.
Knowing your schedule and how much you're racing, do you love stretches like this where it's, back-to-back, 3 out of the first 4 weeks of the season we're racing, you guys can kind of get into a groove, get into a rhythm? Is this what you enjoy?
Yeah, I mean, well, I've been racing since the second week of January, every weekend, and I think I'm racing every weekend until probably about June.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what else am I going to do? Watch TV? I race. That's what I do. That's what I enjoy, whether it's helping someone race their cars or over the phone, or, working on somebody's car, or racing my bracket cars, or running a top fuel car. I race, and that's kind of the good thing about being overseas. I really felt like coming into the season, I was over there racing for championships, leaving Pomona after racing for a championship, and then I come here and I just kind of feel like I'm just in the same mode. So I just really haven't let off since countdown to last year, I feel like.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Shawn, congratulations. Picking up a top fuel win, your second straight here in Phoenix. Thanks.
Thank you.
There goes Shawn Langdon from the media center. And some folks are out there talking about the audio levels. Yeah, we haven't really used the media center audio directly on the air on WFO. This is the first time, and the audio is a little bit low. I think it is more for news gathering purposes, for people writing articles, et cetera, and so on. But that is something that maybe we could address for the next one, right? Like, now that we've done it. Typically, we have our own guests live here on the air, and we've never had that issue. So if you're out there and you're like, oh man, Joe, turn up we're max volume, baby. We're maxed. We're WFO on the volume. We're cranked. And so that's it. That's all we got. Obviously, our apologies, but these are things that we have to work through. It's the internet, guys. It's the internet. Yeah, people out there, so cool. Paul Lee winning in funny car. Love it. Great insight. says Todd Turner. Yeah, Shawn Langdon and Doug Coletta. Looking at the ladder for Top Fuel, only 14 top fuelers. That is like the only bummer. Brittany Force didn't get to run the semifinal run. That was terrible. Something going wrong, like a leak, an oil getting on the racetrack. Tough stuff. But there was a lot of interesting stuff going on out there. That Shawn versus Justin Ashley round 2 matchup. Very, very intense. Great to have Scott, the Evil Knievel of drag racing, Scott Palmer, out there. Very cool. Great to see Scott back out there, and just really cool. Shawn Langdon is the points leader over Antron Brown, who has 40 back. Doug Coletta's 58 back. Jasmine Salinas, another great weekend for Jasmine. Think about that. Jasmine Salinas, back-to-back Mission Foods Too Fast, Too Tasty challenges. She's 4th in points. Brittany's 101 back, followed by Tony Stewart, Clay Milliken, Justin Ashley, Steve Torrence, who was not there. No Steve Torrence, but I do hear he will be in Pomona for the Wright Trailers Nationwide All-Star Call-Out, which will be cool. And Sean Reed is rounding out the top 10. Josh Hart, Ida Zetterstrom, the 12 who are running for the mostly full pull. Ida still looking for sponsorship. But Top Fuel, brutal. Absolutely brutal out there. All right, before we get to our funny car, let's check out what's happening in the world of Total Seal Piston Rings. And we get a chance to go check in with Matt Hartford. He is the CEO. He ran Pro Stock. He got to the semifinals, and we'll see exactly what's going down. Let's go downstairs and see what's happening with Hartford and get ourselves a tour of Total Seal Piston Rings. Guys, I think you're really going to like this. Check it out. And hopefully the volume, it's a factory, guys. It's a factory, so it might be a little loud. Let's see it. All right, WFO, we're going to check in with Total Seal CEO Matt Hartford in his office. What's up, Matt?
Mr. Castello, how are you, sir?
I am well. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
You going to show us around a little bit?
Yeah, let's go.
WFO using the Total Seal studios. Might as well see a little Total Seal stuff. Oh, look at this, though. We got lollies. People have seen you in the office. I don't know if they've seen the artwork celebrating all your National Dragster covers. What's this car?
That was 2003 through 2005, the Sport Compact.
The Sport Compact deal.
Yeah, that was a fun deal. Twin turbo V6, Summit, GM. Yeah, it was a great time. Don Ness car right there.
Oh, wow.
All
right, where are we going?
Let's go. Let's walk through the inspection room. You're not going to zoom in on anything. But
Nothing.
We'll walk through.
This is top secret. Yeah. If I start showing rings from something top secret, you just jump in front of the camera.
Yeah. So we'll kind of just take a walk through here. Everything gets inspected in this room. But we're going to go out to the manufacturing floor.
All
see what's
right.
going on out here. Oh, look, we got Rob Lynch right there, VP of Ops. We got David, he oversees everything in the shop. 3 of our CNC lathes here running right now, making all kinds of good rings. Let's take a walk around the shop, see what's going on.
All right.
A lot of people, let's talk about something that most people don't see too. They don't see all the tools that we build, like the ring filers and the leak down testers, the ring compressors. Let's walk in here and see where we build all those. Hey Gage. So in here's where we build all the ring filers. So a lot of people, these are ones that are in production right now, but we build everything from the tables to the mounts to the blocks, the wheels. Hell, we even wind all our own springs on these. And you can see as you look around, lots of different pieces and parts and components.
Manufacturing happening here.
Yeah, this is not a,
And those are available on your website?
Absolutely. You can get them from us. You can get them through any of our distributors. All the tables get welded, bent, and welded here. So we, not only do we build rings, we build all the stuff that it takes to put the rings in the engine. So over here, you want a Summit branded ones? Here you go.
Oh, wow. Private label.
Absolutely.
Very slick.
Yeah, we do that for a lot of manufacturers, not only on tools, but also on rings and all the components. So take a walk out here. You'll see, kind of get an overview of the shop as you look down through the CNC department. Gives you kind of an idea. Here's our double-sided grinder that we do all the top and the bottom finishing on.
What's this?
This right here is our new Top Fuel ring that we're going to talk about here in just a little bit. But we debuted this in Bradenton. We decided to take all the technology we have in the F1 rings and say, how do we make a better ring for Top Fuel? Put it in, he's probably going to kill me for saying this, but put it in Chad Green's car in Bradenton, and he liked it. Dean Marina said they were awesome. They went to Gainesville, won the race with it, and then several of the cars in Phoenix had them in. And we gave out I think every single crew chief in Top Fuel, Keith and Kevin, walked around and gave out a rack for everybody. So hopefully a lot of them got tested in Phoenix, and I think it's going to be, I think we're going to reclaim some of the Top Fuel market here very soon.
Nice. Back in Top Fuel. Very cool.
Well, I mean, we're in Pro Stock, so we might as well be in Fuel. I figured if we can build a ring for F1 and we can build a ring for Pro Stock, why can't we build one for Top Fuel?
Makes sense.
But as you look around here, you'll just see CNC lathes across the here. We got CNC mills to your left. We got a new, we're really advancing into the industrial and aerospace arena. So we've had to bring in new machines. Here we got a new pallet machine coming in. And by that, we look over here, you'll see it'll have where we can actually load up multiple tables all the way around, and they'll automatically go into the machine so we can run lights out, so we can run when no one's here.
Oh my goodness.
So
tremendous.
Lots of machining opportunities.
All right, WFO, we're going to check in.
We go along, building more tooling over here. Jeff Shoup, he was out at the races with us on Sunday with his daughter. Had a great time, I think.
How many people did you have out there this weekend?
We catered for 175 people. So we did tacos for everybody, and I think from what I understood, everybody enjoyed the tacos. I know we did. We took them home Saturday night, what was left over, and had it for dinner. So
Saturday was a good day. You were #1 qualifier at your home race. It's pretty cool.
You look down through here, you know, all the automated machines. This does all the gapping and OD lapping of the rings, so that once again can basically run lights out. Once it's set up, the rings just run through. Less human interaction and higher quality part, and a lot faster to build.
I love chips. I love little metal chips.
So this whole area right here, like any manufacturing shop, you got to be able to build your own tooling. So we actually build almost every piece of tooling that we need for building rings. We build here. So we got just a small lathe, and both manual and CNC, and that's where, you know, this is anybody that needs anything in the shop. They come over here, and one of the machinists will come over here and build whatever they need.
To build the stuff for the factory.
Still got a lot of manual machines in here. We do a lot of one-off custom stuff. You know, if somebody's got something to say for a 1912 XYZ, it's something we're not going to build 1,000 of them. We're not going to run through automated machines. So we still need manual machines to build a lot of the one-off custom parts, which is, like our catalog says, if you don't see it, call us, we can build it, and that's what we do. We're not just going to build, you know, high volume stuff. We'll build you the one piece if you need it. Quick peruse around PDMs, automated iron machines over there for cutting cast iron. Once again, like I said, there's Tuan right there. Tuan's been with us since 1998, I believe. Is that what year you started? 98? Yeah. And he took all my money on the Super Bowl. I'm still upset with him.
1998.
Yeah.
It's a long time.
Yeah,
Since
Tuan and I have a bet every year on the Super Bowl, and it's always straight up. And 2 years ago I won. This year he won. I mean, I think we just trade money every year.
All right. You went with the Chiefs.
Yeah, we're gonna just we're not gonna spend any time in here, but just here's all the machining and lapping. We just take a real quick video there. We're not gonna let everybody see what we're doing.
Yeah,
it exists.
It exists.
More OD lapping happens over here. Obviously, lots of raw material.
This is where it starts. These are all piston rings, but in a coil.
Correct.
That is super cool.
Everything gets coiled through here, comes through this coiler. Justin's been with us forever. Man, I'm telling you, we'd be lost without him. He's just, he's coiled hundreds and hundreds of thousands of rings, so does a fantastic job. Jason over here doing a little bit of polishing.
What's up, Jason?
More polishing happens over here. Obviously, we got a Rottler H75A. We've got to hone all the sleeves that we actually use for OD lapping of the rings, because every ring actually gets pre-honed or OD lap, so when it goes into your cylinder, it's already essentially bedded into the cylinder.
When you say OD, that's what, outside diameter?
Outside diameter. So every ring will go through a lapping process, And so the ring will go up and down in a sleeve prior to getting coating, so it's perfect when you get it. So they're going to seat in much quicker than say a ring that didn't have this process done. Take a quick shot down here. Lots and lots and lots of inventory. Millions upon millions of rings down here. You think about it, a stack of rings, a stack of rings that tall, that tall right there, would be 200 plus rings. You can just see sleeves and sleeves and sleeves down
This used to be an airplane hangar?
It did. Joe Moriarty Sr., founder of Total Seal. This was his hangar. Spent many, many hours down here in the plains with him working on them.
Very cool.
Hi, Trent. How are you? Once again, Trent's been with us, I think, since 1998 as well. So, we got a lot of really long-term employees here. Some robotics that we're starting to get into, basically for loading and unloading machines. We're not as advanced as we want to be there yet, but we're definitely gaining. And then you come down through here, and you got, there's Kevin. No, don't run away, Kevin. So as we talked about, our top fuel rings, Kevin went around and took a rack to every single fuel team out there this weekend. And we did have one fuel team come in yesterday, and I heard that they were really impressed, and they ran it in one of the long cars. And
Don't reveal the secrets, though.
No, we can't do that.
No,
but see what happens.
How was? What would you say the reaction was of the crew chiefs when they seen this ring?
Very, very happy.
Really?
A lot of positive feedback. Yeah, they're excited about it. Something new to try. So Total Seal, we're always pushing the envelope, new things. We always get out there and test things, and this should be pretty good for us.
And Kevin's a Pontiac guy.
I've heard that. I've heard that. He claims he has one. I think when it comes out, there's a little bit of discrepancy. He says he's going to drive it. I say the car's too nice. He is not.
Car's too nice, but you got to drive it anyway.
Yes,
I've seen some of the pictures.
It is
crazy.
Over the top.
Extreme OCD.
Yes.
That's how you do it.
So when you call Total Seal, Kevin's one of the guys you're going to get, and once again, another guy who's been here since 2000.
Yeah.
99,
coming
2000.
up on 25 years.
He's been on the Hidden Horsepower podcast a few times, especially the PRI episodes.
Absolutely. And that's what you need. You need all these long-term people. They just have so much tribal knowledge about what goes on within a company, and we couldn't do it without everybody.
Excellent.
That being said, that's just kind of the nickel tour.
I like it.
We didn't talk about a lot of stuff, but everybody got to see just a kind of an overview.
Just enough. The family nature. All right, bring us into the secret Formula One room.
Not a chance.
Bring us in there.
No.
Come on.
No.
Come on. Camera's rolling. Just bring us in.
No, here, watch what happens.
And how about that? A little insight into Total Seal Piston Rings. Really appreciate Matt for giving us a tour. And that's the thing that sticks out in my mind is that these people who have been here since the last century, since the late 90s, and they are currently working to evolve their product even more. So thank you to Matt for allowing us to be here in the studio, and also for giving us a tour, because I think it is very cool. And anytime you can see and learn what's going on, that is just a connection, right? Everybody I like to break the fourth wall. I like to show people what's going on behind the scenes in my studio. Now you got to see a little bit behind the scenes, Total Seal. And yes, the volume could always be better, guys. I'm doing everything on this. I'm doing it all on this, right? Because speed, it's all about speed. You'll get the audio only podcast later. We'll touch up all the audio. You're going to love it. But all right, right now, I think the biggest and most emotional victory, another friend of WFO, Paul Lee, FTI Performance Transmissions and Torque Converters. But Paul has been a friend for many years now. It's going back a long time. Paul and I like talking and just about his, not 40 years, but talking a long time about his dreams to win in the NHRA. And just like when he was getting there, something would happen. Obviously, the guy had a heart attack. He almost died. And now he's a winner. He got the job done in such an emotional way. Let's watch the NHRA on Fox call from Brian Loans, Tony Pedregon, and Amanda. I think I might have made this one too. I wonder if they used me on the show. Let's check it out. Let's check it out.
On a 100-degree racetrack and the weather we have right now, you better show up with a tune-up that has some hair on its teeth if you're going to stand in there with the Prock family. Paul Lee is going to win the first drag race of his life in a Nitro Funny Car. 4:03 for Paul Lee. A great win for this team. 313 miles an hour. My goodness, what a breakthrough. What a breakthrough for this guy.
Here with John Medlin, has done so many things in your career. You've now helped deliver a win to Paul Lee. How much went into this victory?
Breathtaking to me. It's a big deal because this is the anniversary of Eric passing away this day today, and we saw more fours on that scoreboard than I've ever seen in my entire life. So I think he just took his thumb and he pushed that car right into the winner's circle.
Amazing moment, and I know you have deep feelings about that, Eric being here today, and now you have scored a win. We are thinking of you. Tremendous victory. Congratulations, John.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Brian, and he just said off camera, I had a feeling about today as the Wally goes in the hands for the first time ever for Paul Lee.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate you.
Paul, 18 years ago, we lost a brilliant light in Eric Medlin, and you just delivered John Medlin and Johnny Lindbergh a win here in Phoenix, and yourself a Wally as a funny car driver. Could you have scripted it any better for yourself?
I don't think so. I think this is like a dream come true. I mean, today was just surreal. I mean, the whole pit was calm. We were calm all day. We prayed that Eric was with us, and he was. And I'm going to tell you something. This trophy is going right to John Medlin on the starting line because we are blessed to have a guy like him still in the sport and helping all our young guys learn the sport of drag racing. So God bless John, and thanks to all our partners, Mainline Sales, McLeod, FTI, Gates, Redline Oil, Justice Brothers. This is for you guys. Thank you.
Great win by Paul Lee, breaking through finally after so much work, after a heart attack, after being cleared to race, after just so many things. Johnny Lindbergh, John Medlin working together. And I got to talk to Johnny on the starting line every run, pretty much. We talked to Johnny. He helped us kill a little time. Johnny, if you're out there, thank you for that, by the way. Like, Johnny doesn't say, Joe, I'm deep in thought and I'm thinking about stuff and I don't want to help you entertain the crowd during a downtime of a moment or something. Johnny is very, very helpful, and I appreciate it, Johnny. If I don't tell you in person, it's true. But then Paul Lee makes his way up to the media center where he submits to the media and all of our questions, good and bad. Let's see what happened in the media center with Paul Lee. Yes, the audio is a little low. We'll work on it for the future, guys. Deal with it, baby. Deal with it.
Joining us here in the media center here at Firebird Motorsports Park here in Phoenix is your funny car winner of the 40th annual NHRA Arizona Nationals, Paul Lee, who went 4.03 at 313 miles an hour to pick up his first career NHRA funny car win, becoming the 96th funny car winner in NHRA history. Paul, special day, obviously happening on this date. A lot of things kind of aligning for this to happen, beating Austin Prock in the final round to get this victory. A lot of emotions running through your head. Kind of take us through what this means to get your first victory on a day like today.
Well, yeah, I mean, man, I don't even know where to start. 21 years ago was the last time I won a Wally at Englishtown at my home track in New Jersey, where I grew up watching Jungle Jim Lieberman and all my heroes and dreaming of someday of being, you know, standing here with a Nitro funny car Wally myself. But after my heart attack in 2016, I wasn't going to drive again. And after 2 years of rehab and the great doctors and helped me get back into shape where I could come back and actually do what I love, is driving a Nitro funny car. It's all I've ever wanted to do since I was 13 years old. The first time I saw Jungle Jim at Echo Dragway back when I was 13 years old. And, you know, and a lot of people don't realize this is a lifetime of work. You know, it's not just an overnight. And, you know, I've been working towards this since I was 13 years old. It's every day. All I've ever thought about is, you know, not just driving a Nitro funny car, but winning. I'm not happy just being out here, but, you know, winning this Wally. I mean, all that 50 years of hard work, you know what? It's worth it. Yeah. And it is a special day. We lost Eric Medlin on this day, and we have a team prayer every Sunday, and John Medlin leads us in the Sunday prayer, and today he asked for Eric to watch out for us. And you know something? Our whole pit was calm all day. We just had a feeling that Eric was watching over us, and I know it's a funny feeling. It was just, we were calm all day. Nobody was excited. Everybody did their job. The crew did a great job. Johnny Lindbergh made some great calls today. It's a very tricky racetrack out there. It's definitely a crew chief racetrack. And, man, it makes it all worthwhile. I mean,
John Medlin, God bless the guy. He's the strongest man I know. I don't know how he does it. He's a blessed man, and he brings that blessings to our team, so we're thankful for that.
Yeah, Bill?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. When we put Johnny Lindbergh and John Medlin as his mentor together, and the right resources, it takes all of that, and the right team, and you know, we're blessed that we have all of our guys and girls from our team last year. No one left, and that's pretty important in this sport, is chemistry. Everybody does their job. Everybody comments on how well everybody just goes around, does their job. No talking, no drama. Have a heck of a team, and it was a long time coming, but it's well worth it. Yeah. No, just in the final round, it's like, you know, he wasn't going to give it to us. I mean, you got to earn it with those guys, man. I mean, nobody's going to give you anything out here. You know, they whipped us the last 2 times, and we said, hey, we can't control what they do. We can only control what we do. So let's go out there and give it a shot and see what happens. And that's what, you know, came out. This time we came out on the good side. Thank God we came out on the winning side, so we're appreciative for that.
Obviously, this place will be special for you for the rest of your life when you're Wally, but a couple years ago, we got this expecting weather special. You're just going to lose, or have one more pass down.
Yeah.
Forget. How important is Firebird as this team in Arizona, not just the things already, but the drag racing as a whole?
Wow, did you see the people out there? Yeah. I mean, stands are packed. And there's another special place for me, why this is a little special, because after my heart attack, 2 years after my heart attack, Connie Coletta let me test the DHL J.R. Todd's funny car here. And that's the first time I drove since my heart attack. It was 2 years after the heart attack. And here's where the first time I drove a car again, which I never thought I was going to get to drive a car again. And I came out here, made 3 runs, and my heart looked okay. And they said, okay, well, you're good to go. So I got to thank Connie Coletta for giving me the shot again of coming out here and testing and getting my heart back in shape. No, I had a Widowmaker heart attack, which is I was very lucky. I just happened to be at home. I had 100% heart failure, so my heart stopped. I was very lucky. It was the day after the PRI show, 2016. I got home, and I was working out in my gym, and I was so blessed and so lucky to be at home because I live right across the street from the EMT center. And they were at my house in 4 minutes and saved my life. So those guys are special too. Literally, I don't know why. I live right across the street, and they were at my house in 4 minutes. So if that would have happened at the PRI show or anywhere else, I wouldn't have made it.
And just tie it all together, because I'm wondering, can this possibly sink in? The 50 years, young Paul, 13 years old, jungle gym, wanting a Wally, starting the businesses, working your tail off to earn the money because no one was just going to give it to you. You were dead, and now you made it. You did it. Like, you're here. You've accomplished all of those life goals, and it's happened right here today on the day, 18th anniversary of John Medlin and Eric Medlin, that emotion. Like, how can this all possibly be?
I don't know. That's a good question. The man upstairs knows everything, and he's blessed us with a sport that we all enjoy and love to compete in, and I have a great team and great businesses, like you said. I mean, I saw a long time ago that I wasn't going to be a professional driver. If I wanted to drag race, my idols were Connie Coletta and Joe Amato. They were the guys that I looked up to, say, you know, if I can build a successful business, then I can control my own destiny. And that was my plan 40 years ago, 50 years ago, and this is the culmination of it. Today in the final round, it was like, you know what? I said to myself, this is what all that work has been for. This is it. This is the race of your life. You better make it happen, man. This is opportunity. No pressure. I felt zero pressure. It's opportunity. I said, if you want it, you're going to go take it. So it worked out.
Inspirational to people out there chasing their goals as well, but there's now a bigger goal, perhaps. You've won the race, but you've got a team that could contend for many more. So look ahead for us.
Yeah, that's the goal. I mean, I'm not out here just to race. I'm out here to compete and win. I love to compete, and I love to compete against these best of the best out here, these drivers. And yes, we won, and of course, the ultimate goal is to compete for a championship. Whether we get there or not, that's out of my hands. It's basically we can control what we can control. Is we want to be able to compete for a championship, and that's our goal.
Paul, you were the quickest funny car in the semifinal round. How much do you think that played into the final round, where your opponent possibly thought they had to press to push their car as hard as possible, and you guys just kept doing what you're doing. It wasn't too many years ago that you were not feared out here.
No.
But now, how much confidence does that give you, knowing guys are having to take their best shot at you to beat you?
Well, I mean, that's, can't win without a horse. We're high-speed jockeys. I'm a high-speed jockey, and today, some days you have secretariat, some days you don't, right? And that's what it's all about. This is a mechanical sport, and we're a jockey, so I'm only as good as my race car. So these guys put a good race car under you, then I want to bang heads with the best of them.
Right? And there was the same emotion on their side. We're talking about the same
Who-
group of people on Austin Prock.
Oh,
side.
yes,
Yeah.
yep.
So,
Yeah, I mean, Bernie was a special guy to John Medlin, and we lost him this past week, and John was telling me the story about how a couple of months ago when we were, I guess, here in Pomona, he went and visited him, when he was in Indy. He went and visited him and spent some time with him, and he was so glad that he did that. And that was recent. That was in the last month or two that he got to spend some time with Bernie. So he's pretty grateful for that. No, because back then, 2004, that was 2004, and then 2005, we jumped to Nitro Funny Car. And then we didn't quite have the budget, so we did the other side. We did IHRA racing a lot, and then some NHRA racing, and just trying to build a program based on the budget that we had, No, I didn't. I didn't take it 21 years, but I'm not going to quit. It's my life. This is what I worked my whole life for, and my businesses are there. We have 150 great employees with our company, and they're all right behind me every step of the way. And it's, the most important asset is your people, whether it's a race team or your business. And without the people, I wouldn't be sitting here.
Well, Paul, congratulations. Awesome story. Fantastic finish. Congrats to you on winning the Funny Car title here in Arizona.
Thank you so much. Thanks, guys.
Paulie, how about that? So cool to see Paul finally get the win. And I don't want to stress finally, but there's a lot of work that went into that. And Paul has got so many people that work so hard for him. And you guys did it. You guys did it. That is so awesome. It's like, for me, this, I don't want to make a crazy analogy, right? The caterpillar turning into the butterfly or something like that. But from one day, you're not a winner, to the next day, you're a winner. And the way people look at you and will they ever do it? Will they be able to do it? Do they have what it takes? And is that guy a good enough driver? And, he's had a lot of bad luck, and what's going to happen? And will they ever figure it out? And all that doubt and all that questioning and all that goes into everything that everybody has, sports radio mentality. And it's true, right? To the next day, the next minute, that is all gone. And the confidence, I really saw it with Doug Coletta. We really saw it with Doug Coletta as the champion. From one season to the next, 1 minute to the next, Doug Coletta is a totally different, he's a loving family man. But the way I see Doug, I don't see people's auras here, folks. It's different. He's a champion. He's there's no doubt. There's no question. There's no doubt. There's no question. It's just that simple. There's no doubt. There's no question. Before you win, there's doubt and there's question. Are you ever going to win? Is this guy capable of winning? Can they ever do it? Will ever fall their way? And the answer is yes. What's the next question? And then we ask, can a small team like Paul's win a championship? Can they go toe-to-toe down the final 6 races with Jimmy Prock and those guys and Dean Antonelli? That is a different question to be answered on a different day. And we'll just have to wait and see. But congratulations to Paul, friend of the show, FTI, big supporters, Project Pontiac. We really appreciate those guys for stepping up. And Paul doesn't have to sponsor WFO Radio, but he does. And he and Hartford talk, and good stuff. Just really exciting. And let me give you the point standings. Paulie is your points leader by 2 over Jack Beckman, by 8 over Bob Tasca, by 12 over Chad Green. How about that? By 24 over Austin Prock. You've got the top 5 in points separated by less than 1 round at the finals of Pomona. The top 6, actually. 27 back Matt Hagan, only 2 races. 29 back Caps. Like I said, the top 7 all separated by less than 1 round at the finals at Pomona. Alexis Chajoria, 44 back Cruiser, 64 back Bobby Bodie, 64 back J.R. Todd, 65 back Buddy Hall, 68 back. It's funny car. That's how it's going to be all season long. I think the big storyline of the day, though, was Ron Capps and that horrific explosion and crash. Ron is, I think, a friend to all drag racers. I don't know anybody that doesn't like Ron Capps. He's a good person. He's got a great family. And when that happened, I remembered on the starting line. I know there were a lot of comparisons made to the John Force crash. And yeah, there was a good explosion, and then it went to the left. But we're very fortunate that all the safety work that has gone even since John's crash, even keeps going into the cars. And all I will say is this, because I'm not a technical guy. I am curious and I'm interested, but I just don't have the proximity and the time, right? Like if I spent a couple of months, I would love to know, why everything does everything. But I can tell you this. Thank you to the people who focus on safety. Please continue to focus on safety. Because in that 1 minute or 2 minutes between, oh my goodness, there's been a big incident on the track, to Ron Capps is out of the car and we can see him. It's just, everyone's, like a lot passes through your mind. And we want to do our best to avoid ever having that horrible experience again. Especially, like, not that it matters who it is, but to see Ron Capps process the incident like that. And it's 250 grand at least. Like, that's the really sad thing about it. Like, as soon as the driver is okay. So driver okay, the driver's okay. It's like, oh my gosh, for a privateer team like Ron Capps to lose another brand new car to an incident like that, the body, 60, 70 grand. It's a lot of money, a lot of resources, but it's big time American motorsports, and that's how it goes. Keep those comments coming in the comments section. People are liking the press conferences. So listen, I have the ability to help try to make the audio a little bit better, and we'll do that. We'll coach up everybody. Oh, we're going to decline this phone call. You guys hearing that audio? By the way, all my notifications. Sorry, I don't do the show on the road a lot, but it's real, guys. Like, you're getting the granular realness of being out there. All right, let's do Pro Stock. Pro Stock final, amazing stuff. Greg Anderson. How bizarre was this? That, like, they should have done the Ricky Bobby and run down the racetrack. Let's watch the final round Pro Stock called by Brian Lones, Tony Pedregon, Amanda Busey. No, I think Bruno got this one on the starting line. How crazy was that?
Oh, Glenn's car. Look at this. Dallas Glenn's car blew past the two-step, engaged the clutch, and Greg Anderson just won the race, and his car basically shut off 10 feet down the racetrack. Dallas Glenn can drive by him as far and fast as he wants, but this one's over.
Yeah, and I think once they process what happened for Greg Anderson, he's going to realize that he can drive his car to the finish line. He can stop on the racetrack. He's won the race because of that disqualification from Dallas Glenn.
Well, Greg Anderson has had a day. We had some anxious moments. Your wife, the whole team was panicking when you had a vacuum leak. They didn't know if you're going to even run the second round. And now, I don't even know what to describe what just happened there, but you're holding the Wally. Greg, maybe you can break it down for us. Congratulations, and what happened?
Well, Bruno, they say there's no such thing as an ugly win. That was an ugly win. So, you know what? A win is a win is a win. I've never won that way in my life, but you know what? I'll take it. Dallas is one hell of a tough competitor. We've got a hell of a race team here, this KB Titan team, and you saw the way they all jumped in that car, on my car second round when it wouldn't start, and then it basically had the throttle hung almost wide ass open, and they got her done. We got her stage, got her done. So very proud of the guys. Big day for Hendrick Cars. Kyle Larson won today, so I felt like if I didn't get the job done, I would drop the ball. I didn't drop the ball, so Mr. H's having a big night tonight. Another guy here today is having a big day, my team owner, Jim Whiteley. He's got 2 wins today. He almost got 3 with Ricky Smith. So big day for the family, and love racing in the desert here. Thank you guys all for coming out. You're a great, great crowd. I love racing in Phoenix, and hopefully you keep this baby going forever.
I want to clarify something. Did the car die, or did you cut it off?
The car actually died, Bruno. It made it 1 foot and shut right off. I was dead in the water. So absolutely my lucky day, without a doubt. So thank my lucky stars.
Greg Anderson. How about that? The car shut off. And the round before in the semifinals, when they had that problem with the intake what happened was it backfired and kicked out all the intake gaskets. And so the guys were there and they were stuffing them down in there. They were just trying to stuff them back into position so the car would run. And it had a very high idle because it had a huge vacuum leak. And he goes up there and stages it up and wins the race on a whole shot, right? Like what? That is being calm, cool, and collected, presence of mind. Greg Anderson, just amazing. And we were able to catch up with Greg solo, so the audio will be a little bit better outside in the media center. I was able to ask him some questions, and look at the beautiful background, by the way. I know I don't get caught up into this kind of stuff, but it was just so beautiful out there. There's a reason the race is sold out 3 years in a row. Check it out. So this is the interview this week because I'm out. Greg Anderson. All right, what was that? What did you do? You won.
I screwed up every way a man possibly could, Joe, and somehow they said, you can't lose today, I guess. The gods looked after me today, and it was my turn to win, I guess. That's all I can say. I can't remember any time in my career a scenario like that. I still don't know what happened. I screwed up. I red lighted. Apparently, Dallas did worse than I did. Then my car shut right off. Apparently, the computer went dead. It didn't make it a foot down the racetrack. Wouldn't have mattered because I red lighted in my book, right?
But your red light, was that in response to Dallas red lighting? Or?
Apparently, I saw some sort of flash, obviously on the trees. I'm guessing apparently it was. And I don't know yet. I haven't talked to him what happened to him, if his clutch linkage broke or if he made a mistake, which he doesn't make mistakes. So I'd be shocked to find that out. But obviously, I went on some sort of flash from the tree and I red lighted, but apparently he did first. So first or worst, I guess. And somehow they told me I won the race. And I like to go out and earn them, Joe. I don't like that to happen. I like to be proud when I get to the finish line that you beat the best of the best of the best. And won by default. But I guess a win is a win. Other people have done it that way. I don't think I ever have, but other people have. So it's in the books. We won at Firebird and had a great weekend. And even though we dropped the ball in the final, we still had a great day leading up to it. We did the work to get to the final. So we certainly earned our way to the final, qualified great, ran great on race day, raced great on race day until the final. And let's just stop it at that. We had 3 great rounds on Sunday, and then we got rained out, and they just declared Greg Anderson the winner because we ain't got time to come back.
Okay, in the old days, one of the photographers mentioned this to me. In the old days, the car had to cross the finish line. Did that cross your mind, and were you prepared to push it?
Yeah, a lot of things crossed my mind. First of all, I thought, you just red lighted, right? And then the car shut off. And I'm like, wait a minute, Dallas has not passed me, and I don't see, maybe I didn't red light, right? So now I'm trying to restart the car. The car will not start. I'm trying. One of us, I figured both of us were trying to restart our cars and drive to the finish line, right? And it's going to be the ugliest, craziest looking win ever. Neither of us got started again, and somehow they said I won. I don't know how. I have no earthly idea how, but they gave me the trophy, so apparently I won, Joe. So
all right,
going to call it a great win and move on to Pomona. Forget about this one, accept it as a win, and go to Pomona and hopefully do it the right way, hopefully win in style.
All right, one more. The intake manifold backfire. How does Greg Anderson handle a situation like that? Do you stay cool? Do you get fired up? Because everyone's running around and it's like crazy situation.
A deal like that, Joe, I've been out here so darn long and I've been through so many crazy scenarios before. You just got to stay calm and say, you know what? If this is the way I'm going to lose, that's the way it's going to be. You got to learn to take your lumps once in a while. You're going to take them. And first of all, I figured that was it. It wasn't going to restart. It wasn't going to get done. And my guys did a fantastic job. Jumped in there, stuffed some of the rubber back in the intake where I could get it started, and it would at least idle at 4,000 or 5,000 RPM instead of 9,000 RPM, and I was able to get the car staged and got lucky and won the round. And we can forget about all the stuff that happened. Sometimes that stuff happens. They'll backfire like that. It's just wonderful. It's fuel injection we run. I've never been a great fan of it, but it is what it is. And obviously I hit the wrong key on something when I tuned it between rounds, and it backfired and basically blew the rubber out of the manifold. So created a great vacuum leak and a great air leak, and that's why it idled so high, and basically figured I was done, and the guys did a heroic job. I got it to idle down enough where I could make the run, and we got lucky. We just flat got lucky that round, and forget about the final. That's just dumb luck.
And yet, 107 wins later, you got the job done. Go celebrate. We'll see you in a week in Pomona.
Do that. I'm looking forward to Pomona, Joe. Not only because I love Pomona, because I want to make up for basically looking like a fool in the final round. I want to make it to the final round again and prove what this race team's all about, that they can win just by brute force, brute power, and brute execution.
Good luck, Greg.
Thanks, Joe.
Greg Anderson. How about that? And just the sky, it's magic hour out there, just so beautiful. in Arizona, and a third consecutive sellout at the facility, second time back now that we've saved the track. And Governor Lewis says that we have now signed a long-term deal, that the track is back for a long time. And I haven't heard how many years publicly, but I heard something privately, and it was double digits. So that was pretty exciting. Let's hope that that's actually true. But Firebird Motorsports Park, I always talk about like my favorite races, and we're going to Vegas, I'm going to Pomona. Those are two of my favorite races. But Firebird is great. It's great. Airport close to hotel. It's like a scoring sheet that I've got. Airport close to hotel, hotel close to track, right? That's always big. Good ingress, egress. Is there a big crowd? Yes, 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 yes. I went over to the casino for the very first time. Went to the casino. It was amazing. Oh my goodness. The casino was amazing. It was beautiful. Went to the steakhouse. Drag Race Bracket Bonanza was like, hey, let's go over there. And I was like, yeah, all right, that sounds good. And it was beautiful. Like, I don't know what I was expecting. It's something great and amazing, but this was a level up of what I was expecting. And just such a great race. And every year, the folks at Firebird, they do something, like the Charlie Allen Tower. They do something to make it better and better and better. Pro Stock standings after two races: Greg Anderson, the leader, over 7 over Dallas Glenn. Corey Reed, 99 back. Hartford, 111 back. Eric Latino, 119 back. Mason McGay, who's had some pretty fast hot rod, right? 123 for Mason. 6th, Aaron Stanfield, Jed Coughlin, Troy Coughlin, Greg Stanfield rounding out the top 10. Derek Kramer and Erica, 11th and 12th. It's going to be an interesting season because Elite has come back a little bit. KB seems to have moved forward a little bit. The McGahays up a little bit. Brandon Foster, X Factor. So you've got a lot going on. Hartford and Kramer, like, they haven't had the best first two races. Michael Heiner and Derek Kramer, but the car's fast. And so when you have a fast car, those problems solve themselves. Let's get some comments in the comment section, guys. Let's get your comments in the comment section and see what you got to say while we talk about the rest of the winners. We are live and on location at Total Seal. Please share the show. That Total Seal tour won Hartford a couple of fans. That's kind of cool. That some people were pretty excited about the whole Hartford situation. New level of respect for you. You see him at the track. You see all these people really in these 30-second to 1-minute clips. And it's really hard to get the vibe. It's really hard to get the vibe, and you might get the wrong vibe. And the fact of the matter is that they should never be taken in total based on the stuff you see at the track. It's just not enough, not a big enough sample. Nick Mione, my buddy Nick. What's up, Nick, from my hometown? 2 big wins for Mike Stavrinos from Speed and Truck World in Fort Lauderdale. Wow. So I posted one on the socials, and that was after race 1, winning the Gator Nationals. Mike goes out there, wins them both over Ricky. That is something special. That is a big deal. Guys won 20% of the pro modified season. Now remember, they got a road to the championship. So there's a playoff system. But Mike Stavrinos is showing me that he's the kind of driver that can get the job done. And speaking with his wife, Cammie, on the starting line, and she's like, he's been dreaming of this since he was a little boy. And now he's doing it. That's what drag racing. You could dream about being a Major League Baseball player. We had Lane Thomas out there. Mike Thomas's son came out and enjoyed the drag races and was part of the pro stock community. You could dream about being a Major League Baseball player. But by the time you're 30, the dream is probably over. Sorry, chances are it's over, right? But in drag racing, you can still make it. Look at Paul Lee. He built these businesses and he made it. Speaking of which, congratulations to Paul Lee. Never gets old. What a moment. People loving the presser. He's an interesting man. He's a very interesting man. Yeah, no, those press conferences are available. We'll make some interesting changes. Blake wants Dave Reef and Alan Reinhart's autograph on his sweatshirt. And I don't know how to make that happen. You got to be in the same place at the same time as them. That's the problem. Or start mailing it around. Pro Stock Final was just bizarre. Greg says, sometimes you'd rather be lucky than good. all that stuff. Let's put your final comments in the comments section and hear what you have to say as we get ready to get out of here. But first, got a couple more of our great sponsors to tell you guys about. Thank you. Look at that. We've got like 500 people out there watching live. I'm here in the Bat Cave at Total Seal. Some people who make it possible for me to go WFO, for Project Pontiac to happen. Let's take a moment. We'll be back.
Foggit is a high-performance fogging oil designed especially for internal combustion engines. Foggit can be used by everyone. If you have a lawnmower, a jet ski, a motorcycle, a tractor, a high-performance car, a classic car, racing vehicles, if it has a cylinder wall, it needs Foggit.
What's up, everybody? Today we are in Emporia, Kansas at Stinnett Racing. We're going to dyno Project Pontiac. Yes! That's how it's supposed to happen right here. A lot of work on profession.
We talked about this project 2 years ago at the PRI show.
Now, this thing started off like we dynoed the old engine, and that was going to be like just a refresh.
Gary's not just an engine guy. He's got a lot of cool cars. Of course, he's Supercom Dragster. He's won 4 World Championships. Super Stalker. But back here is where he keeps everything. This dynoing my Project Pontiac engine with Gary Stinnett. Oh, yes. That's right. You want to learn more about Project Pontiac? Check out the YouTube channel, WFO Radio TV. We do have a playlist for all the Project Pontiac stuff. And soon you're going to see it get breaks and you're going to see a debut. It's all going to happen. Want to remind everybody, PowerTube TV, showing all of our WFO radio content. This show will be on PowerTube TV. What's up, PowerTube? How you guys doing? Reach out to us on our socials, WFO Joe on Instagram, on X, and get part of a show. We need our PowerTube TV people to get involved. Shout out to our friends at Wright Trailers, 83331 Wright, the official trailer of Project Pontiac. I'm sure you've seen that video. Really amazing stuff what Michael Scott and the team at Wright Trailers did for us. Marvin Rodak, rodakscoffeeandgrills.com, 817-924-6821. That's 817-924-6821. The best coffee in the world. The best coffee in the world. It's just that simple. And small batches from all around our planet Earth. So you got to call Marvin, you got to talk to him, you got to ask him, and he will coach you up what you might like. Do you want extreme caffeine like I do? Maybe I shouldn't be doing that. Maybe not. 817-924-6821. And then there's Frank Hawley's Drag Racing School, the Dragster Adventure at Frank Hawley. They do super comp classes and alcohol funny car classes, and you can drive anything. But for my audience, I think you guys, maybe you should start out with the Dragster Adventure and just drive a dragster a couple of times. Race against your friends. And it is very affordable. That's the thing. It's super affordable. Call Frank Hawley and ask him and find out more. Appreciate it. If you want to join the Patreon VIP Listener Club, they got Monday Motivation this week. They get a lot of behind the scenes, including the Hear It From Heiner Pro Stock Show. Patreon.com/WFO Radio. Enjoy the perks, so they say. And of course, finally, WFO swag. It's on sale on a regular basis. The Miami Hollywood Speedway shirt, the Project Pontiac stuff. You can get it all. The Fire t-shirts. Everything that we do is available on our TeePublic store. Why not get a shirt? The Project Pontiac stuff. So funny. Project Pontiac is getting built and we're looking at putting it out there. And, we sold like 2 shirts. Once the car went on the track and performed well, and I got down to 6 cars, we sold, 20 shirts. So it's really cool. Thank you guys for buying them. All right, let's see. Gary says Foggit in his carts after each race. Oh, yeah, you can bet. Like Project Pontiac is getting fogged every single time. Ron Merkel, with a name like Firebird, it's got to be good. That's so true. Ron Merkel, Pontiac guy from South Florida. Keith Kaufman wants to know about Alice Cooper. All right, so I did not go to see Alice Cooper, but I did get to witness the sound check from the track. And it was, like 1,000 feet away, but I got to see him and hear him sound checking. Sounded great to me. I know people who went to see the show. I don't know if they want to be outed as having gone to the show. They said, and the photographs I saw, Alice Cooper at 77 years of age was bringing it. Full theatrical show. They brought out the guillotine. They were chopping heads. Amazing. And I saw enough video to know that Alice Cooper and Chuck Garrett Nita Strauss, everybody who came out and joined us did a great job. So, hats off to the Gila River Indian community for pairing Alice Cooper with NHRA Drag Racing. And I believe it was a sellout. They announced 90% sold out the day before. So Blake says none of his drag race bracket bonanza picks won the race. Yeah, me either. And most people, Blake. I had Hartford winning in pro stock. I had Doug Coletta winning, and I did not have Paul Lee winning. Sorry, Paul. Sorry, Paul. Maybe next week, though. It's going to be a phenomenal season, especially with regular season champion. That's a good note you bring up, Keith. The regular season champion is going to make it a big deal. You want to win that money. Like, what is it? 6 figures. Someone's going to walk away from 6 figures. But I do think that it's never a bad weekend when you win the Mission Foods Too Fast, Too Tasty Challenge. It's just so simple as that. So happy ProMod came out here 2 years in a row. Please keep them coming. Thank you, 426 Hemi. ProMod is great. And I had such a good time hanging out with Al Tucci. So you probably have been able to figure out that I get along pretty great with everybody. Like, I don't have problems getting along with people. But Al and I get along immediately. And we had a blast on the microphone. Tooch is like way up here when it comes to energy and intensity. And so I love being able to, it's like sometimes you want to drive and sometimes you want to ride. And I get to ride along with Al Tucci while he is just blowing the roof off the place, drop in a nugget or a note, watch some of the coolest race cars on the planet. It was really awesome. It was really good. And Al Tucci is going to be back. He's the ProMod announcer, and he'll be back at Congruity ProMod at Charlotte. And so very exciting. Very exciting what's going on. And again, congratulations to Mike Stavrinos. But you know what else? Congratulations to Ricky Smith. Tricky Ricky, also in his 70s, right, Ricky? Or is it late 60s? And, what can you say? The guy is amazing. Krista, who won the March meet, and I will see you in Pomona. Safe travels. Have a safe week, everyone. Thanks as always, Joe. See you next week. Well, exactly. And that's where we are. Tomorrow, I'll be going out to the LPGA Pro-Am, where Shawn Langdon is going out there to, he said he's not ready, right? Like, are you prepared? He's like, nope, not prepared. Well, whatever it is, he's going to go out and, be at the Pro-Am. We had some of the ladies of the LPGA out there. We had, Mr. Hubbard formerly of, me and Galvin were like trying to figure out how to say it, Florida Georgia Line, but now he's solo. We had a lot of VIPs out there. And you know what? That's a big bonus to the race too. It's nice to have a couple of celebrities out there. Just people who have never seen the race. Lane Thomas, Mike Thomas's son, was out there. We went and saw him play. We got invited to watch him play last night, part of the Cleveland Guardians. And Lane was, he goes, oh my God, it's all coming back to me. My pro stock childhood. It's all coming back to me. This is amazing. It was so great to see that happen. Meanwhile, the guy's, MLB star, which is super cool. But guys, that's going to do it. This wasn't bad. On location, right? I got to learn how to fly the plane. I'm flipping levers and switches. There's a crank I got to turn, right, to make things happen for the show. But we got the job done. And, they're not all going to be the same from the comfort of the WFO studios, right? We're here in the Bat Cave at Total Seal. But thanks to Hartford for supporting the show, and thanks to all of our sponsors. Big news, Redline Oil coming on. Redline Oil and Jesse Converters and Bernie Speed Shop and CWT Industries and Frank Hawley's and Marvin Rodak and WFO Patreons and FTI Performance Transmissions and Torque Converters and everybody that supports our show. It's really amazing. And we do the show every week. We crank it out, but we could always use a new listener or two. So if you've got a friend who loves NHRA Drag Racing who's never watched the show, I'm serious. People were chiming in on my phone. It says Al Tucci is texting me right now. He's out there watching. Or is this a coincidence? Tucci says, saying our chemistry was real good, Joe. I requested. Okay, I won't read the rest of that. Thank you, Al Tucci. The Tucci is out there. Yeah, no, it's good. You know what, guys? Look, all the voices, all the people. Jordan Vandergrift did great. Freiberger is back in Pomona. Angel, I'm so excited. Guys, I'm so excited to be a part of this new energy, this reorganization, this new era. And what can I say? It's like watching the transitions in the decades go by in the sport of drag racing. And we love this sport. We're trying to keep it going. All right, final comments. Keith, another great show. Thanks for keeping up with Tuesday's show. Kara's going to be out there. See you this weekend, Kara. Great show. Tooch had some serious energy. Safe travels. And glad we're in the same boat. Blake, let's make a promise to each other, bud. Let's pick a winner this week, all right? Let's pick a winner when we get to Pomona, baby, in just a couple of days. All right, everybody, appreciate you guys. Go watch that Jay Blake interview if you haven't. It's amazing. All right, guys, thanks, everyone. Appreciate you. WFO.
Like this show? Want more? Then head to WatchPTTV.com, the new 100% free PowerTube TV streaming network. Home of the best classic and new motorsports racing and build shows on the web.